Scrappy people, it's Tracy Reed here today, coming at you with my second layout using the Love List collection. And today I am going to showcase not only one of the adorable Traveler's Notebook signature papers, but also a lot of the papers from the collection that I totally love. So I am trimming down all of these Traveler's Notebook papers. I'm trimming an inch off of each one, and I chose papers specifically that would be fine on a diagonal orientation without me having to fuss with making sure that the pattern goes straight, so like no word papers, that kind of a thing, just to make it easier on myself and my little tiny bit of OCD. I don't want any words to be all sideways and crooked or patterns to be weird. So I am going to put these down on a diagonal in strips, and I'm trying to make sure that the patterns are nicely separated so that, you know, two solid colors don't go together, that kind of a thing. And then I'm going to use the leftover bits on the ends there to cover up the tops and bottom corners. So I'm going to keep these in order so I don't forget, and I'm just going to apply a lot of adhesive to the cardstock background that I'm going to build my background on. It's the easiest way for this lazy scrapbooker to put down a lot of adhesive at once and make sure everything sticks real well. And I'm going to build from the bottom corner so that I make sure that I have a nice even amount of pattern down there and it doesn't have like this weird wonky corners. So just starting from, you know, the bottom edge to make sure everything aligns perfectly. And then I'm putting down my papers so that I have a nice solid chunk on the outside edges to work with in case I need a little scrap of the paper. I haven't decided yet which papers are going to go at the top, so I'm just kind of making sure that they all have the ability, or the best of their ability, I suppose, to go at the top. So I'm going to trim off with my scissors this very top piece, and then I'm going to use my paper trimmer just for ease to trim off the rest. And then the easiest thing here is to just finish with the paper trimmer, because that makes it so that I don't make any mistakes with my scissors, which I tend to do. Okay, so I'm going to flip all these over, and I've decided that I think I want a sort of repetition of the bottom corner. So I'm going to take this gray XOXO piece and this black piece, and I think that really kind of frames the whole page and gives me a place to work in with my embellishment and photo cluster. So the right or the left hand side of this page is going to be super simple, because I'm going to use one of my Traveler's Notebook signature pages that are included in the collection, and I'm going to make a list, and that is going to cover me for one of the Scrap Harder challenges as well, which is super awesome. Super easy way to do that. And the Traveler's Notebook signature itself is actually a list paper, so that makes it really easy. But I have it already printed out, so I'm going to use one of the tricks that I've been talking about lately on my Instagram, and I'm going to print out my journaling on clear sticker paper rather than trying to fuss with running this Traveler's Notebook signature back through the printer. I tend to mess up. I don't know if it's my mess up or the printer's mess up, but I tend to mess up when I try and stick things back through the printer. So I'm just going to use clear sticker paper, and I'm going to put them down like I would word strips. So I decided to extend this Love List Traveler's Notebook signature horizontally using the black paper that matches the other side, because I have been scrapbooking in my Life Crafted album, and when I scrapbook outside the page protector in the Life Crafted album, the canvas is actually 5 by 8.25, which means that all of my Traveler's Notebook papers that are 4.25 inches are just 3/4 of an inch short, and so they all need some kind of little border if I'm going to use them straight in my album. So I decided to use the black border because it matches the right hand side so well, and I really feel like that pop of black with all this beautiful color really anchors the layout completely. So I have these X's and O's from the last layout that I made using the Love List, and I really kind of wanted to incorporate them into this layout. I think it would have been super cute. However, they're just too big. The X's and the O's were just too big for what I wanted, and they were very distracting in the patterns that I had. So I decided to forego the X's and the O's, even though I love them. And I'm going to double mat this photo on a couple of patterned 3x4 cards, and I'm just kind of roughing up the edges of these to create some texture in the layout, because everything is flat right now. Another way I could have added some texture was to stitch these patterned paper lines, which is kind of what I contemplated doing in the beginning of this layout, but I decided I did not want to get out my sewing machine, and so I didn't. My sewing machine and I are not exactly the best of friends, and so when I can avoid her, I do, although I should probably just, get on better terms with her. So I'm going to double mat these again. Like I said before, I'm going to pull out some blue because there's not a lot of blue in this page so far, and the one blue portion that I have on that background is actually going to get pretty much covered up. So I'm going to pull in some blue because it matches the picture really well. I have blue eyes, I'm wearing a really light gray blue shirt, and so it adds just another layer of that blue color to create some contrast and to bring that picture into the layout rather than just relying on the pinks, because I'm wearing that sort of burgundy jacket. Okay, so I am not even gonna lie, I cut out probably 20 minutes of me peeling stickers from this video because nobody needs to watch me peel the backgrounds off stickers, or at least struggle to peel the backgrounds off stickers. Man, sometimes I wonder at my ability to scrapbook just because I can't peel the backgrounds off of stickers. What I'm going to do here is you can see I've pulled out a bunch of word bits, and also on the right hand side, or on the left hand side, I have a bunch of these iridescent stickers that I printed on iridescent sticker paper from Silhouette that I really wanted to incorporate into a layout. But the key is to make sure that you don't incorporate too many iridescent stickers into the layout, otherwise you will end up looking like a Lisa Frank layout. So I'm trying to decide what quantity of iridescent stickers I want to incorporate versus the regular cardstock. And so I've got two of the florals, and up there in the top where the Love List title is, there's another iridescent sticker, and you can see that I've got quite a few on here now, and it's just a little much. So I put that flower away, and I'm going to start working with what I actually have laid down so far. You can see that these stickers are somewhat see-through, which actually lends to their iridescent nature a little bit more, but you have to be aware that they're see-through and work around it. So I'm trying to put these in places where they're going to stand out the most and not get overridden by like those patterned paper strips in the background. So they're kind of going over the corners of the mats and the photos rather than directly on the background paper, which is not really how I scrapbook anyway, so it worked out well. Now I'm going to add in this other one. Man, you guys don't know how lucky you are to not watch me struggle with those holographic stickers. That was rough, man, trying to get those backgrounds off. So I'm going to add in another title because I felt like it anchored the top title to have sort of a matching one on the bottom, because obviously the titles themselves match, and so I thought it looked cute to have both. I'm gonna layer that iridescent sticker directly over the one in the title so that it doesn't look offset. And I really wanted to add in some more clusters on this page, and I actually designed the journaling to have a few places to cluster embellishments, but I end up only using this one place on the left hand side because I felt like and you'll see I'll try to add in some more embellishments, but I felt like it was too heavy on the inside corner or the inside edge of the layout when I tried to add too many on that side. I should have thought about that when designing the journaling, but I had the actual list that was printed on the Traveler's Notebook signature to contend with, so it's not like I could move the numbers over and create 2 points of clusters on the Traveler's Notebook signature since it was already sort of set in stone. So it is what it is. So I've got my cluster mostly built, but I'm feeling like I need to build this cluster up vertically a little bit because it just kind of is sitting in a clump on the bottom corner of that page, and I felt like I needed something else. So I'm actually going to add in one of these letter boards, and these letter boards are actually cut down from another Traveler's Notebook signature, so they're slightly smaller than the ones on the sticker sheet, which is good since I have so much going on here. I'm going to pull off this happy heart because I had 2 pink letter boards and I thought that that was too much, so I'm going to do crush in instead. And then I'm going to add one more floral sticker to that top corner. And I felt like that was a good amount of iridescent floral stickers for that side of the page without it being too much. But I felt like I wanted it to go all the way up to the top of the layout, but when I put something down up here, I didn't actually like it. So I'm actually going to move this heart down and then I'm going to call it good. So if you enjoyed this video, I'd love it if you give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, go ahead and subscribe. I would love to have you. If you don't already, you can follow me over on Instagram. I'm at Traci M. Reed, and I will put a link to the love list in the description box below if you want to pick up a copy for yourself. All right, thank you.